Thank you, Kyra, for that wonderful introduction. Now, I know that you've heard a lot of questions today. I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you one more. How many of you here check your phone first thing in the morning? Can I see a show of hands, please? You guys don't? Well, it should be almost all of you, and I'm not surprised by this. Well, imagine the first thing that you do in the morning is check your emails. Maybe you're having a cup of coffee. Maybe you're in the bathroom, and you want to see how your day will go. So you scroll through your emails, and then all of a sudden you see, suspicious activity has been detected in your account. Your heart skips a beat because this is from your bank. We're talking about financial information here, your hard-earned money. So you take a pause, and you panic. You scramble, because anyone in this situation, myself included, would too. And then as you read the email, you see some part that says, click here to report, or to solve, contact this number. And without giving it a second thought, you click on it. My friends, this is an example of phishing, one of the many kinds of cybercrime that our world now faces. Now, let's face it, my generation, and not just mine, but the one that came before me, and the one that's going to come after, we are addicted to technology. We rely on it for almost everything. We dream, we live, we interact, and we shop. Everything happens through a digital device. And whether that's good or bad, that's a topic for later discussion. But for now, we need to know how to stay safe in the digital world. Now, Astra Security reports that there being a cyber attack, every one cyber attack happening in 39 seconds around the world. It's a powerful metric, so I'm going to let that sink in. 1 in every 39 seconds. Now, it sounds terrifying, right? It did to me at first too. And that's why I decided to take action against it. But before we get to that, let's shift the focus a bit. I have another question to ask all of you. How many of you here use the same password for multiple accounts? Again, I can't say that I'm surprised. Up on my screen, you can see 3 examples of, let's say, a weak password, a medium one, and a strong one. Now, up on the left, password 123. It is very common. I myself have used it for a few of my accounts before. According to CSA, it would take around 60 seconds to crack this by a cyber criminal. And I still think that's a bit generous. Philip123. Let's say there's a guy named Philip. Do we have any Philips in the audience? No? Well, what if we had a guy named Philip and he wanted to remember his password? He would do something easy, because we prioritize passwords that we can remember. Not something unique, not something complicated. But the third one, on the right, it has a combination of things. And I know you've heard this before. Use symbols, use letters, capital letters, numbers. You've heard this. Well, CSA proves that this is true, because it would take approximately 100 years to crack such a password. Cybersecurity. That's a big word, so I want you to break it into 2. Online safety. Now, we often associate these words with people in fancy suits, or IT, or tech support for that matter. And that's not always true. In fact, that is completely false, and it's a myth. Cybersecurity is the armor, the digital armor that we all need to know how to wear to protect ourselves against cybercrime. Now, let's go over 4 principles that I believe are the most important when it comes to cybersecurity. Number 1, passwords and authentication. Now, I gave you an example of some easy passwords, but remember, you do not need to have a password that you can simply just remember. So I want you to promise me something. No more your father's name, your child's name, your favorite TV show, your favorite TV character. No, none of that. Because cyber criminals, they run dozens of simulations. And it can be cracked within minutes. Better yet, enable two-factor authentication. It's just a push of a button. It takes hardly 2 minutes, but it's like adding a second door to your house. Phishing awareness. Now, phishing, I find this to be a funny word, but this is the example that I gave at the start when it comes to the banks. Because the email, it's emails being used as bait for you guys to click something and then eventually lose out. So how do you know what is true and what's not? Now, it's hard for the best of us, including, my father. He is in the cybersecurity industry, and yet he himself has fallen prey to phishing attacks. And remember, I know you're listening, I've saved you a couple of times, so no need to thank me for that. But seriously, guys, how do we know what is true and what is not? Well, I'm going to give you 2 of the tricks that I use. Number 1, look for grammatical mistakes in the email. Now, I know this is tedious, you don't have time to do this, and no one would eventually look, because if you're in a state of panic, you don't want to see if your name is being spelled correctly, or if you have the right capitalization. No, none of that. But this is an important one, because cyber criminals, they copy, paste. They have to send the same email to thousands of people, so they won't check if your name is correct. So look for that. And number 2, look for the email ID. Now, I'm Shaurya Chatterjee, and I might send you an email, but the email itself, it might say Shaurya at the display name, but the email might say something like user123. Now, Shaurya wouldn't have an email that says that, and if he did, he certainly wouldn't send you an email with it. Number 3, public Wi-Fi. Now, this is a big one for me, because I travel internationally, and my parents, well, these are the number of times I've been allowed to get data roaming. 0. And so, as anyone would, I look for public Wi-Fis. Let's say I'm sitting in Woodley Mall, I look for public networks to connect to. Because I want to talk to my friends, maybe I want to see what the score is in a game. So I check, and I really want a free network. Well, you're entering into the cybercriminal playground, because at least for the others, they are taking an action on you. Over here, you're playing into theirs. So, well, how do we solve it? Just don't use it. Or better yet, enable VPN. I know that all of you know and have used VPN. So, there are plenty of free platforms available. And finally, social media privacy. Now, this is a big one for my generation, because we often think more likes, more followers, often is cool. Well, I can say with experience that it is not. You are unlocking your door, allowing cyber criminals to walk right through for stalking or even guessing your passwords, maybe 100 times worse. What do? Have private accounts. Now, cybercrime hit close to me. My father, he lost $8,000 when he was booking a movie ticket. And it happened within a matter of seconds. And even though he was able to get that back, he is in the industry. He knows the do's and don'ts. But even so, it caused all of us a lot of stress. And so for my International Baccalaureate Middle Years Program personal project, I created an AI-powered chatbot. A chatbot that helps answer your queries about cybercrime. Let's see a quick demo. So there's my QR code of the product in case anyone wants to scan it, or just keep it for reference. But let's start simple. What is cybercrime? So I entered that, and my bot, the amazing bot that it is, CyberShield, it gives you a detailed and lengthy response. But what if we want to get a bit technical? What is phishing? Well, it has an answer for that too. And you can have a read, but I have explained it to you in my talk. But the problem then comes when it comes to reporting and practicality. Because we need to know how to report cybercrime. And so if I say how to report cybercrime in Singapore, it gives you a hotline number as well as a Singapore Police Force website. Now, of course, this is my chatbot, so I have tried my best to include all the different countries, but it might not. And so the best thing you can do, go to the web and search up cybercrime reporting in your country. Now, I always get the question, yes, we know about it, but what do I do? Well, remember that every digital footprint is valuable because you transact online. We live our lives online. And so, for what actions you can take, talk to a friend, talk to an employee, your brother, your sister, your helper, for that matter, because the best way to spread awareness about anything is through the word of mouth. So stay cyber safe, and most importantly, stay unhacked. Thank you guys, that was my time.